Hey guys, welcome back to Trekyards. I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Quaddle,
And we are back looking at some concept Defiance. We're going to be looking at a few of these, so hopefully you can watch them all and see what might have been as far as the Defiant for DS9 goes. Quite a few iterations of it, and it's worth looking at the concept and talking about, why it wasn't used, what would happen if it was used. I mean, just see the possibilities, right? Because if Parallels taught us anything, it's that each one of these was used in a different universe somewhere.
And so many Rikers get so many blowed up. Yeah. But let's jump back in time to Deep Space Nine. They need a new ship. Small, powerful, amazing. A battleship of some kind. They need a ship. They can't call it Valiant because that's a V for Voyager. Defiant. And they get Jim Martin, who has an incredible career from Starship Troopers. And just, please look at his IMDb. It's amazing stuff. And he was tasked to design the Defiant with Rick Sternbach. They each had their own different things. And this is obviously the final Defiant, obviously. But this next image is one in the many steps. We've looked at a couple. We're going to look at some more. This is clearly nowhere near the final. And as the note says, this was still when they were thinking bigger than a runabout. Well, I think they're going to reuse a runabout exterior as well, or interior, which is hence why the cockpit looks similar. This is when it was just runabout plus rather than fresh build. So Stuart, you must have seen this before in the years and years, and by golly, it's different. I'm really excited to hear what you think about this, and let's analyse it. What the hell do you think? Because it's something.
I absolutely hate this design.
Sorry, Jim, we love you.
We do love your work, Jim, but this is awful. The first thing I see when I see this is a Y-wing fighter from Star Wars.
Yes. Yep.
It's got the very same front end shape. It's got the red striping. It's like, oh. And then, oh. The warp nacelles strapped to the bottom. Those things hanging off the side look like Klingon warp nacelles, even though they're not. They're like weapons of some sort. And it's got a bulkiness to it, like something out of Aliens. Again, I compare it to the dropship quite a bit, things to the dropship, but this looks like dropship kind of material. So that's my thought on it.
My question to you, if I was to Photoshop out the nacelle, would it look Star Trek at all? Okay.
If you put the nacelle on the bottom of those outer pylons, it might look more Star Trek. But then it would be too close to a runabout.
Well, that's the thing. Does the runabout look Star Trek? Doesn't look great necessarily, but it's very functional. This somehow to me only feels functional in the sense you've got this front bit, which I agree feels like a soft reuse of a Y-wing. The back feels like they stuck a big ass generator on and guns. That's it. There's no form follows well, there is literally, but there's no design to form follow function. It's just like we had this, stick this on, now it's got guns. Because I do see the side pods as the pulse cannons. Okay, I see there's little holes in the front of the top bit or the front bit. They could be pulse cannons too. I see something sticking out in the middle of the top bit, which again could be a pulse weapon, a big phaser emitter, phaser lance, whatever. No visible torpedo tubes, but that's okay. Whatever. But I can see it being, weapon pod did. I mean, it wouldn't look good flying through space. It would look like a camper van with a big ass generator on the back.
It looks like a freighter or a civilian ship
does.
of the week.
Yeah.
And as for no photon torpedo tubes, don't forget micro torpedoes are a thing in this era. So there's two different kind of emitters on the pods there. There's a lower one that looks like a phaser emitter, and then the other one that looks bigger. That could definitely be a micro photon torpedo launcher. But yeah, it doesn't feel Starfleet at all. It feels 100% like a civilian craft or an alien ship of the week. The only thing that makes it feel Starfleet is those nacelles.
And honestly, I can't tell if it's meant to have 1 or 2 nacelles based on the placement. I don't think either would look good, honestly. 2 would feel like feet, 1 would feel, breaking all the rules of warp nacelles, but...
Well, 1 would look better than 2, I think, on this particular design.
I don't even know, honestly. It looks like a Star Wars ship. I mean, the fact they've got visible pipes coming out of the top and weird, like you see pillars and girders, and it just doesn't.
Well, it looks like it was assembled in a hurry on the fly with parts they had. It doesn't look like a thought out designed warship to battle the Borg. Not that was necessarily the thought process at this point in time. They just wanted a more advanced ship for Deep Space Nine, so that it's not just a runabout. It looks like, seriously, they crash landed on a planet and they scrounged up some other parts of other ships that were nearby and threw this together. In that case, fine, you did a fantastic job. If you can go to warp, you're good. But it doesn't feel like Starfleet. NCC 13602. Interesting.
I like the fact that it's different, but it's different in itself into the Star Wars universe. And the fact that it's full color implies it's relatively far through. This isn't just a sketch. This is a thought through, and there's lots of lovely shading. I mean, are you kidding? This feels beautifully 3D. It's wonderful. I mean, even so much as there's like shadows of the sticking out bits on the main. I mean, we definitely need to talk to Jim at some point and say, what were you thinking here? Not in like a mean way, just like what was the thought process? Although I wonder if he ever drew or thought about alternate views, because this does tell a lot of the story. But I mean, I'm seeing there's like a ramp at the back. Could it do cool things like that? Is it big enough that you can have security teams? Does it have a big aft torpedo launcher? There you go. That's something. Does it have I'm wondering, or is it just literally pipes and greeblies and just two big engines? Because it just yeah.
Well, if you cut off that bottom nacelle and cut off that top part where the pipes are kind of joining, and just kind of take the front module with like a little bit of that back part that it blends into, it's kind of reminiscent a little bit of the Chaffee shuttle that the Defiant actually ends up using. And that's fine. I mean, as a shuttle design, make a few small changes and it'd feel way more Starfleet. But it just feels like that back part is just so tacked on. It's just it doesn't fit for me.
And in fact, now you're saying that, if you were to remove that entire top pod, which would include the side wings, kept it going a little bit further back, add two warp nacelles gently with, then it'd be a very like gentle, sleek, actually quite a nice shaped thing. Obviously, you'd want to like up Federationify the detailing, as there isn't any of that specifically. But I do like the cockpit a lot. I do like the front. I think it looks really nice. The fact that it's too similar to Star Wars is just a nature of the beast. It's amazing that, especially with modern cinema, you can still have things that look so unique, considering how many things there've been. The fact that Babylon 5 could create, incredibly unique Minbari and Vorlon, all these things that are just like, that is unique. That impresses me to this day when I design things for fan films. My aim is obviously to link things in, because that's the point of, if I'm going to design a Klingon ship, I should look Klingon. Why else would you design a Klingon ship? So I'm much more just designing from elements and vibes, whereas this is like fresh, new. But I never bought the runabouts. I did it anyway, going into DS9, them being so small, so relatively ineffective. You can't feel a great sense of exploration and power in this little. I mean, the set's beautiful. The interior is absolutely gorgeous, but this little ditzy thing. Oh look, we're at a planet. It's like it just feels like I'm being taxied around. Defiant, Voyager, they have some presence, and so I understand obviously reuse the runabout cockpit, but I mean, if you're going big, go for a ship. And this did not meet that criteria.
Yeah. I just want to point out too that the front does say NCC 73602.
Yes.
The side says 13602.
Yeah.
When I read that earlier, so I apologize.
Slight dash.
But the runabout it's a good idea, but they used it too extensively, and for such deep space missions to go to other planets and stuff, just kind of like, really.
Well, it would have worked if they'd really committed to the idea of its interchangeability, actually making the middle module unique, like almost Thunderbirds 3, change that for different missions, like an armor pod, a weapons pod, you know, several rooms. You add multiple variants on the top to really give it like a lot of, or we need a science everything. Okay, here's a custom version, or we need a tactical one, and somehow it has big ass guns. You know, I don't know. Change the vibe.
But this, I don't know. I'm glad this didn't get approved. No offense, Jim Martin. This is a great ship in somebody's universe.
Oh, Star Wars. No, this would be great. Tale in SL. This is a Star Wars ship. I mean, hands down, this would fit very well in the expanded universe, the EU before it was changed out its Legends. I mean, I've seen ships look similar to this that are fighters that it would fit in well. I will say though that, and I did sort of say it at the start, I do like there is a certain aggression and gun totingness of this, and it would have been cool to see it like fire all of its weapons. But yeah, it's pulling almost all the wrong things. And now I actually look at it, I mean, it really is kind of like the runabout arch just shifted up to create wings, and it's like, yeah, but no, don't do that.
That leads into the next thing, guys. What do you think of the design? Is this something you would have liked to have seen? Does it feel Star Wars to you? Let us know in the comments. We've given you our thoughts. It's time for your thoughts. And if you want to help out the channel, you can do so by sharing this video around. Don't forget to like the video as well and hit subscribe. And also don't forget to hit the notification icon, because we do these concepts. We look at concept ships. We look at regular ships. We do full episodes. We do mission briefings. We do lives. We do a whole bunch of cool stuff every week for you guys. And we want you to come back and check out more. So if you can do so, please do.
And we do look at a plethora and obviously backlog of hundreds and hundreds of episodes with designers, without designers, with new renders, with, you know, fresh look, first look, full episode. We're very proud of them. Please do look. And obviously support us if you would like to see more and see continuing great content and to see us cover the things, you know, in Picard, the Star Trek New Picard show, or in Lower Decks. There's so many great things and we'd love to talk about them, but only do it with your help. A couple of great ways. Obviously, like you said, sharing, liking, give us money via a couple of ways, because you've got to pay the rent somehow. Do you want to alternate which ones? You go first. Which of the donation ways can you do?
I'll pick Patreon. Patreon is our monthly backbone subscription service where a couple bucks a month really helps out. Doesn't seem like much to you guys, but it really adds up, and it's always there for us. It's a guaranteed kind of income for us, because YouTube does fluctuate quite substantially. So that's probably the best way.
Or you can join our Super Chats lives, our lives via Super Chats. We do them every week. Great topics, great conversations, great with the audience. You get to know us, you get to be part of the conversation, and you get to put in a few bucks. And we always read your comment, your thought, or your question, as because we do a lot of great topics. You can have your voice heard in some good stuff, or just our TNG live reviews to say, I love this episode, I hate this episode. Here's $5 to help the channel. Please do more because I like watching you guys talk about it. And we're like, yes, everything is win.
Or head on over to www.trekyards.com, click that donate button, which is PayPal. So basically there's PayPal information down below in the description as well. That's another way you can send us direct money as well through PayPal. So,
and the more we can get on a month, the more we can keep going. We want to keep going because there's, come on, Golden Age of Trek, or the next great age of Trek is probably among us. So hope to see you then.
That's right. So until next time, guys, I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Connor Hungs.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.